Hey everybody, this is George from DinosaurGeorge.com. I've gotten so many emails this last week. I've got, holy smokes, 383 emails. And I'm going to try to just sit here at my computer and answer more of them in the hopes that I can answer more. I just can't get to all of them, and hopefully I can answer more of them doing it this way. So let's get going. I'll just randomly click on any of them. Let's see, Martin from New York City, New York. Can Spinosaurus swim underwater? Well, Martin, no, they're not really designed for swimming like you saw perhaps in Jurassic Park, where you remember you saw that sail and you saw him kind of cruising along under the water like that. His body's not really designed that way. His tail is not flexible, which means he can't swim like a crocodile because he doesn't have that real flexible tail. If, in fact, he could swim, I suspect he would probably do something sort of like the doggy paddle, you know, where he just kind of moves his hands as quick as he can and probably kicks his feet. I mean, certainly I believe that he could swim, but I don't think that's his main mode of motion through the water. I think really what he's doing is he's probably walking into water and probably standing still and catching fish as they swim by, but he's probably not an active swimmer. I wouldn't think so anyway. All right, let's just buzz down the page here and randomly grab another one. Let's see, this is Odie from, I think that's pronounced Davao, the Philippines. Wow. Hi, Dr. George. Hope you're doing great. I am doing very great. And Odie, I'm not a doctor, but I appreciate that. Okay, this is my question. Would you or will you make a movie about the Portuguese Torvosaurus versus a fully grown Allosaurus like the one you did make in Jurassic Fight Club? Or if you cannot make one, can you tell me who would win in a fight between the two? Okay, Odie, as much as I wish we were making more Jurassic Fight Club, that series, we're just not. We didn't get funding for a second season, so I couldn't. Although this would be kind of an interesting fight. But Allosaurus and Torvosaurus didn't live at the same time. Wait, Torvosaurus, of course they did. I'm sorry. I was thinking Torosaurus. Yes, Torvosaurus and Allosaurus certainly lived together. I've always liked Allosaurus the best. He's always been one of my favorite dinosaurs, and it's hard for me to go against him. But Torvosaurus is a pretty major player. So, I don't know. Maybe it'd be a toss-up. I don't know. Anyway, let's keep going. All right. Irvan from Jakarta, Indonesia. Hello, Mr. George. My question is, why do Komodo dragons still survive until now? Well, Irvan, great to hear from you. I assume it's pronounced Irvan. If not, I apologize for my terrible pronunciation skills, of which I have none. Why do Komodo dragons still alive? Well, all animals who have the ability to adapt to changing environments are able to survive much longer than those that are not. So for instance, Komodo dragons have been on Earth for a very long time, yet they seem to be able to adapt to whatever environmental change occur. So they're here simply because they are capable of adapting. It's the exact same reason why crocodiles and alligators and sharks and cockroaches and crabs and all those other animals are still here, because they are capable of simply adapting when necessary. All right, Fran from, looks like Croatia. Hello, Mr. Blassing. Hello, Fran. I have one question about ceratopsians. Do you think that it is good to compare Triceratops or Torvosaurus to a rhino? Because rhinos don't live in big herds. And do you think that Triceratops lived alone or in pairs? And Torvosaurus, did they live in a big herd? Thank you for answering my question. Have a good day. Well, thank you very much, Fran. I appreciate the courtesy. Triceratops is one of the ceratopsians that you don't often find in association with others. So it suggests to me that they might have been more loners, or perhaps they lived in smaller groups. Now, comparing them to rhinoceros only in the idea that they don't live in gigantic herds, then yes, I do say that that's a good comparison, because they're herbivores, they're big, they got horns, but more importantly, they seem to be more loners than anything else. So it suggests to me that both Triceratops and Torvosaurus are not like their cousins, like, who are some of the guys? Pachyrhinosaurus and who else? Some of the centrosaurs that they find in massive, massive numbers together. I would think that if we could travel back in time and if we saw a small band of horned dinosaurs living off by themselves, then yeah, I think it would be a good chance that those would be Triceratops or those would be a Torvosaurus. That's a very interesting question. That's kind of cool. All right, let me go to another page. I picked all those off of one page. Let's fast forward here. Let's pick one that was sent. This is kind of funny. This one was sent about 3 seconds ago. All right, Tyler from Pennsylvania. Could Spinosaurus kill a T-Rex? No, you know, Tyler, those dinosaurs didn't live together, but if they did, it's my opinion that Tyrannosaurus Rex is probably more powerful, although he may not be as big as Spinosaurus. I think he's just way too powerful. It's really not fair to compare those two dinosaurs because they're very, very different. All right, Nick from Cleveland, Ohio. Do you think that large ceratopsians went into, let me see what this says, month stages in their lives like modern elephants do? Wow. Please respond and take care. Wow, Nick, very polite of you. This is a very interesting question. Nobody ever asked me this. Basically what that is, if you're not familiar with it, is that the males during a breeding season go into a stage where they actually secrete a liquid, I think by their eyes, if I remember correctly. And they become very aggressive, and it's the time when all of the males kind of challenge each other for dominance. Do I think that ceratopsians did that? Heck yes, I do. I think that's really a cool idea. Now, did they secrete something? Who knows? But I do believe that they probably, at least yearly, there was a big fight to see who's going to be the top dog in the group. I guess dog isn't the proper word. Who's going to be the top ceratopsian in the group? And I do believe that they would have done that. That's kind of cool. I like that one. All right, let's keep buzzing along here, baby. Let's see, Brandon from Tampa, Florida. Hello, Mr. George. I'm a huge fan of yours. Thank you, buddy. That's very kind of you. I loved your work in Jurassic Fight Club. That's also very kind. I'm glad you did. Man, I had a good time making that series. I know my question is pretty frequently asked and kind of boring, but you see, I'm a big fan of Carnotaurus, Ceratosaurus, and Allosaurus. What were the crests and hands for? Thank you for your time. Well, listen, this is not a question I get a lot. What were the crests for? Let's focus on that. With Carnotaurus, they're a little more robust. They're a little heavier duty. I think they would have been effective for combat. Interspecies combat, male versus male, female versus female, if the females had them. I think that because they're a little heavier duty and they're more robust, they would have been capable of using them to either shove each other in a fight or perhaps even knock prey off of its feet. Now, when it comes to Ceratosaurus, totally a different animal. Their horns and that blade on the nose are very thin, and therefore, I'm really surprised those things are not broken. What it suggests to me is that dinosaur, Ceratosaurus, was not a confrontational dinosaur and that he didn't run in head first like Tyrannosaurs would do, where they would maybe lower their head and just knock somebody over. I don't think he would do that because that blade on his nose would be shattered. And I don't know if they've ever found a Ceratosaurus where that blade's been completely broke off. I don't know. But anyway, I don't think they were using it for that. Finally, my buddy Allosaurus. Now those guys, those horns on top of their head above their eyes, were a little more heavy duty and may have been capable of also being used to push and shove rivals and may have been able to be used to knock down potential prey. So I think that may be what the horns are doing. Now, secondarily, the horns probably were a way to display age, maturity. Much like a modern deer or a moose does today. The bigger the horns, the more mature the male, and therefore that almost helps to stop a confrontation between species. You don't want to get into a fight and just have at it because chances are you could get hurt. So you want to intimidate your rival, and I think horns would have been a way to intimidate them. All right, secondly, what were the hands used for? Now, this is a good one. All right, with Carnotaurus, his arms are so tiny, I don't think he did anything with them. With Ceratosaurus, he's one of the few predators that has 4 fingers. That's a throwback from being a very archaic dinosaur. He comes from a very old lineage. Those 4 fingers, though, had pretty sharp claws, and they were relatively powerful arms. So he was probably using them for grasping. Finally, when we get to my buddy Allosaurus, those hands, those arms are so robust and those claws are so big, I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that they are using those as a way to literally rip prey wide open. All right, let's see if we can get one more in. Anthony from Evans, Georgia. Good day, Dinosaur George. Good day, Anthony. Quite some time ago, you answered a question concerning a dinosaur movie I am making. If it is not too much trouble, I have another question. Would Postosuchus have been more of an ambush predator like a lion, or would he have been more of a scavenger? Thank you very much for your time. Well, first of all, Anthony, my pleasure to do this. I hope your movie's coming along well. I'm very looking forward to seeing it, so I hope that it's available soon. When you get it, please post it to me, let me know, and I'll promote it for you. Postosuchus is not made for rushing at a quick rate of speed. He's just too heavy for that. So my guess is he's probably doing one of two things. One, he is probably definitely an ambush predator, probably spending his time near watering holes or along a game trail where animals are more likely to travel back and forth. And then he's probably racing out, sort of kind of like a Komodo dragon does today. Postosuchus had a big set of teeth and a very powerful bite force, so all he had to do was grab you once, and I don't think you were going to get away from him. But second of all, is he a scavenger? Yeah, probably so. He could use his mass as a way to literally take prey away from other animals. So since he's not killing it, that's considered scavenging, even though the prey could be fresh. But also, he probably ate anything he could get his mouth on. So if something was dead and he could smell it, he would probably show up and eat his fill. But if he saw somebody little or make a kill, he'd probably run them off. I would simply say Postosuchus is one of those dudes that I would love to be able to see. He is a nasty guy, and I'm actually trying to buy me a Postosuchus skull to add to my traveling exhibit because I think so highly of that animal. All right, you guys, listen, maybe this new format may not be as exciting as the others, but it allows me to answer quite a few more questions anyway. So I'll shoot a couple of more like this since I've got the camera set up. Until next time, thank you guys very much for taking the time to write to me. I hope that I can answer everybody's questions. I'll try my best. Until later, everybody, appreciate the courtesy. It's always so nice to be able to read polite and courteous emails from you guys. I love them. For all you young people out there, practice your reading because reading is going to be very important to you when you grow up. I'll see you guys soon. Take care, everybody.